The simple communication trick that helps you stay in control of any conversation. There's a surprisingly simple way to take back control in a conversation. Change the way you interpret what people say. When I first graduated from college, I met a woman who was exceptionally good at communicating. The interesting thing was that she wasn't talkative at all. In fact, she spoke very little. Yet whenever she did speak, the atmosphere instantly became lighter and more comfortable. One day, a group of us went out for dinner. A coworker had a little too much to drink. He turned to her and asked, "Do you think I'm someone who can't be trusted?" It was an incredibly difficult question. If she said no, it might sound like empty reassurance. If she said yes, it would come across as harsh and hurtful. But she didn't answer the question. She simply smiled and asked, "Has something been bothering you lately? You never used to think that way about yourself." The room fell silent for a few seconds. Then he began talking about work pressure, family problems, and all the burdens he had been carrying. That's when I realized something. She had never answered his original question. Yet somehow, she didn't need to. Later, I asked her, "Why didn't you just answer him directly?" She replied with a sentence I've never forgotten. He wasn't really asking a question. He was looking for someone to deny the way he felt. The faster you try to reassure someone, the more they'll think you're only saying it to make them feel better. Your job isn't to answer the question. It's to help them say what they truly want to say. Then she taught me a very simple technique. The next time someone says something that makes you uncomfortable, don't react immediately. Ask yourself, is this sentence expressing an emotion, or is it conveying information? For example, someone says, "Why are you working so slowly?" The emotion is that they're feeling impatient. The information is that they want to know when the work will be finished. Instead of responding, "I'm not working slowly," try saying, "I expect to finish around 3 o'clock. When does your team need it?" The conversation immediately changes direction. Because when you respond emotionally, the other person responds emotionally too. But when you respond with information, both of you return to solving the actual problem. Here's another example. Suppose your manager says, "Your performance this week hasn't been very good." Many people panic. They start explaining they had urgent tasks, unexpected problems, or not enough time. Even after all those explanations, the manager may not believe them, and coworkers may think they're simply making excuses. Instead, try asking, "Could you tell me specifically which part needs improvement so I can fix it?" Now the conversation becomes productive. Your manager may point out exactly what needs to change or even offer helpful guidance. No arguments. No defensiveness. No unnecessary stress. Simply replacing the question, "What did I do wrong?" with, "What can I improve?" changes everything. I experienced something similar with an old friend. One day they said, "You've been so busy lately. It feels like you don't care about me anymore." In the past, I probably would have replied, "That's not true. I've just been really busy." But without realizing it, that response suggests that work matters more than they do. This time, I simply smiled and asked, "You've been missing me, haven't you?" My friend laughed. "Yeah, you never text me first anymore." I smiled and said, "Then dinner is on me this weekend." That was the end of it. I didn't explain why I was busy. I understood that behind the complaint was simply someone who missed me. Another situation was even more challenging. During a dinner conversation, someone said, "You only got this opportunity because you were lucky." The old me would have argued immediately. Instead, I asked, "In your opinion, what's the most important ability someone needs to earn an opportunity like this?" Honestly, I still feel like I have a lot to learn. The person was caught off guard. Then they started sharing their perspective. By the end of the conversation, I had actually learned something valuable. And the original criticism quietly disappeared. Most comments that upset you can be separated into two parts: emotion and information. Why are you so slow? The emotion is impatience. The information is a request for an update. This report is terrible. The emotion is dissatisfaction. The information is that something needs to be improved. You're so selfish. The emotion is hurt. The information is that one of their emotional needs hasn't been met. Your job isn't to absorb the emotion. Your job is to understand the information. Because the moment you respond to emotion, you're pulled into an argument. But when you focus on the information, you stay grounded. You remain in control because you're listening to what the other person needs, not simply reacting to how they feel. Ultimately, this isn't just a communication technique. It's a different way of thinking. Instead of rushing to answer, you learn to ask the right questions. Instead of reacting to emotions, you search for the message hidden beneath them. Emotional stopover. I'm here to help you become a better version of yourself every